And we're live, joined today by Andrew Bowen Albo, just a few days out from fight night. My man, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. How are you feeling leading up to the fight, man? I know it's a bit of an age old question, but how's camp been and how are you feeling ahead of the weekend?
It's been pretty good. It's a little different because I got approved to be on Team USA for this, so I don't really know my teammates too much. We had a little bit with the ones that are around me. We had a little bit of open sparring on Saturday. So going out there, going to meet the team. I'm going to have new coaches for this, so it's definitely different, but I'm definitely excited.
That's awesome, man. We're super excited for you. And this isn't just any event, any fight. You are representing the country, man. So how do you feel, going into such an amazing event and being able to say that you're representing the country?
It's a huge honor. So I didn't even know that the last tournament I entered was for placement for Team USA. So after I won my bracket, they approached me in the hotel lobby and they actually asked me if I would like to be on the team. And of course, I jumped on the opportunity. This is the first sport that I've been on Team USA for, and it's a huge honor to just represent the country and go out there and bang.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And that must be something that's like a monumental moment in your career, bro. Like thinking of myself growing up playing sports too, like thinking about the opportunity to even represent my country would give me goosebumps and I'd be so honored to do it. So the fact that you're here today, just a few days out from having that opportunity to represent that flag, represent the country is so awesome, dude. Congrats to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course, man. Of course. Um, Man, you've got some sweet merchandise up on your Millions profile as well. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so we just had my first shirt launch. It has some of the gyms and my sponsors on there as well. I came out with a wonderful design with my name and a little bit of my, background, being Japanese, having that samurai helmet. It was super cool. It was a real surreal moment. This is the first shirt that I've ever launched throughout my athletic career, and seeing it there is just amazing. The design's great, and it's been awesome working with you guys.
Love it. Pleasure to work with you, man. And so excited for all the things that are on the horizon for you, but just the opportunity to work with you is super exciting for us here at Millions. Um, Before we move on to the next thing, do you mind letting them know they can shop on Millions, Andrew Bowen Albo's gear, and also let them know to follow you on Millions, man? Because maybe we got something cooking up with the release of the app where followers may get some special access or features to Andrew Bowen Albo on the Millions app.
Yeah, definitely. The Millions profile for me is going to have a lot of the behind the scenes. I am on other social medias, but the Millions app's definitely going to have that behind the scenes access to see a little bit more of my training, a little bit more of the philosophy that goes into everything. Um, the mobile app's launching, it's already out, and it's just getting bigger and better. Really excited to grow with it.
Love it. Love it. My man, let's talk a little bit about this upcoming event at the Sphere. How excited are you for that?
I'm super excited. I mean, the Sphere itself is just a whole spectacle of a venue, and seeing the UFC doing the first combat sporting event there, it's going to be, one of the biggest cards. Like Dana White has said, the card is stacked from top to bottom. The opening fight is, Chihuihui's, Raul Rosas Jr. So it's just going to be a banger of a card. The event is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see what it looks like live on how they're going to deal with the whole screen in the background, but it's going to be awesome.
Oh man, I'm so pumped. It's literally monumental. I don't know if you've seen, and I don't know how true it is, but Dana's been saying this is a one-time thing.
When I don't know about that, I think it's going to be just a whole spectacle, and who knows, they may make this like an annual event because I think that it's going to attract a lot of hype in Vegas, and I think that the venue itself is going to see the value that the UFC brings.
Agreed. Agreed. So we're calling a bit of a bluff on Uncle Dana saying it's a one-time thing here.
Definitely, definitely.
Dana, come clean with the fans, man. What are you doing here? All love to Dana, man. He's a legend. Let's go through some of the fights, man. I know you talked about Chiwiwis kind of kicking off the card, um, and kind of looking at the rest of things. I don't even know if they've got the entire card booked or if there's more on the horizon. Because looking at Google, it like I'm only seeing. Whoa. I'm only actually maybe it is a whole card. Maybe it is a whole card. I'm only seeing like 17 fights, but that probably is the regular thing. But looking at it, I'm gonna ask for some of your predictions, man, and you can say pass if you're if you're not sure, no stress at all. But
Yeah.
um, might as well start with the fight before Raul. We got Irene Aldana and Norma Dumont. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, so, Irene, she's coming off that, she just had that title shot. She just went on a great run. Her teammate is Alexa and also Lopes as well. So I think that camp is just going to have a show. They're going to show out. I think she's going to get the party started, and then I think they're going to have a clean sweep the rest of the card.
Yeah, love it, man. What do you think between Raul and his opponent? I don't want to mispronounce, but I believe it is Keelang Aori.
Yeah, so I think Aori is definitely he's a dog, right? He's been in the UFC before. He has a couple of fights, and he has a great style. I think Raul is just on fire though. After he had that loss to Christian Rodriguez, he's really changed up. He's still aggressive, but he's definitely managing that pace well. I think he comes out and just does what he does. He's gonna get in his face, get him on the ground, and I think he's gonna get the sub.
Pumped for it. He's definitely been on fire, but his opponent is not to mess with. I agree, that's for sure. Ronaldo Rodriguez, Odie Osborne. Any thoughts?
So Odie Osborne, he's definitely one of those firecracker kind of fighters. He could definitely pull up the upset, but this is giving me those vibes that Canada card had a couple years ago, where every Canadian fighter just won. So I think Ronaldo is going to take this as well.
Ronaldo, let's go, dude. What else we got here? We got um, Daniel Zellhuber and Esteban Ribovics.
Yeah, Esteban is just a beast. He comes out the gate like a bat out of hell. I think he's gonna get it. I'm a big fan of his. I like watching the way he strikes and how he moves in there. I think he gets it done.
Love it. Love it. Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez. This is going to be a banger.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, all respect to Brian Ortega, I think this is kind of where he has to show that he's still in this, right? Like he had the controversy with the last booking where, he fell out after not making weight, being sick, and they had to get Dan Ige in there. Um, a lot of fans have forgotten about him. He's been out with some injuries. He's had some shortcoming in title fights. He's definitely one of the best in the world, and I think it's like he has to be 100% in there because it's kind of do or die for him with the fans. Because if Diego comes out and does what he's been doing and just comes out on fire, then it's going to be a long night for Brian. Against Yair, Brian was struggling a little bit, but he ended up finding that win and kind of staying back in that where he's ranked at. But, it's hard to go against Diego. He's just fearless in there. And I think that unless Brian catches him with a slip submission, I think Diego goes in there and just runs through him.
Diego's been on a roll, man. That dude is not to mess with either.
Yeah,
He's a dog. Alexa Grasso, man, the trilogy. Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko.
I
Dude,
know. Yeah, so it's kind of weird, right? So Valentina was in control of that first fight, slipped up, got submitted. The second fight was back and forth, and then Alexa ended up pulling out the win there. You know, Valentina's a legend in combat sports in general. I watched The Ultimate Fighter. It didn't really seem like there's too much between them. They're both professionals, so they can definitely be the types that just turn it on when they need to turn it on. They don't need a huge build up to the fight. But Alexa just seems so comfortable in there. I think that, having those two wins, she knows she belongs in there with Valentina. Valentina is going to have to change some stuff. Sometimes she goes in there and she's just like in second gear the whole fight because she's already ahead. I think if she doesn't switch gears and get in Alexa Grasso's face, Alexa is gonna take it. I think that she has the boxing to stand in the pocket with Valentina. If Valentina doesn't bring anything new to the table, I think Alexa takes it.
Man, I'm so pumped for that fight because like they are so close, right? And skill and that professionalism that you mentioned, the margin is tiny.
Yeah,
It can go either way, in my opinion, man. And like, yeah, I think Valentina was no, I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just pumped to watch that unfold.
yeah,
But
it's gonna be a good one.
yeah, main event, dude. Sean O'Malley versus Marab. What are you thinking?
I gotta go with Sean. He's in Arizona too. He's in the Valley. I don't train with him, don't know him or anybody from his camp, but I'm always gonna support the guys from Arizona. I think Marab is definitely one of the best in the world. He's on that crazy win streak. He just dismantled Henry Cejudo, but Sean's big, man. He has a big frame and he knows how to cover distance and angles and kind of snipe from the outside. I think Aljo had a lot of trouble in the tie-ups with Sean. He was definitely prepared for the wrestling there. I think Marab may run into that where he's gonna have to cover a lot of distance and he might run into some shots. You're getting cracked by Henry, who's good in his own right and has a lot of power. But you can't give up those shots on somebody that you're not going to be able to touch where they're just bouncing around all over the place. I think Sean O'Malley gets it done 3 rounds.
3 rounds. Jeez. All right. Yeah, no, dude, I'm pumped. Like I can't pick. I'm a Sean fan. I think that
Yeah.
dude's an absolute star. He's amazing at what he does. But I just feel like Marab is like he's a machine. Like there's a reason they
Yeah.
call him machine.
Yeah, I could definitely see where he may be able to break Sean down with the pace. But, I'm a little biased in this one because Sean's in Arizona.
Yeah, valid, valid. Yeah, no, dude, I'm super pumped. Awesome. Back to you, man. Like, what was the moment that you kind of realized you had this massive passion for the fight game and that it was something that you wanted to pursue at the highest level in the world?
Yeah, so it actually goes down to when I was in high school. I kind of fell out of my passions for like other sports like football and other things kind of fizzled away. And I really got into the UFC, really wanted to do it. My mom was so against it. So I ended up doing it with my friends and we ended up getting with other schools and we're doing it at parks. Ended up getting in a bunch of trouble. And then she finally broke and she's like, well, you know what? If you're gonna be so passionate and keep doing this, even if I don't want you to, we might want to make sure you're doing it the right way. So in high school, I started training. I had my first fight my senior year. And then that changed to me wrestling my last year in high school. And then I ended up wrestling in college a bit. I started competing locally and then at international tournaments for jiu-jitsu as well. And then in 2017, I just took a step back, focused on my family, focused on my career, like in the corporate world, and just didn't train. I ended up gaining a lot of weight, came back in 2022 and started this weight loss journey because my son, he actually blamed himself for me stopping. And I kind of told him, I was like, you're not the reason I stopped, right? Like, I made that decision. And he said, well, can you still do it? And I was like, well, yeah, let's give it a shot. So I started doing it again, started winning, even though I'm at this new weight class. And now, when I went to the national tournament for the US Sanda team, and I just, won, got a quick finish and I kind of realized I was like, I'm just gonna make a run at it. And then took the opportunity to be on Team USA. I went to Japan before as well, and I sparred some of the heavyweights out there that are ranked, and I felt like I belonged. So, that was kind of the moment where I started training with guys outside of my circle, where I was like, I can actually do this.
Love it, man. What a journey. Good for you.
Yeah,
So important to always find what sparks us and helps us kind of get better every day in life and as humans and um, things that will help us just grow as individuals on a daily basis. So, as passions fizzle out, like you mentioned, so it's not easy to find that new passion.
yeah,
Like we're all individual, we're all unique. Not everything is intriguing to everyone. Everyone has their own interests. So I love that you were able to find the fight game, pursue it, even though people in your life may not have, you know, like love that.
Yeah.
Long as you love it, as long as you find value in it, as long as it sparks you on a daily basis, man, that's what matters. And I absolutely love that you're chasing the dream. So many amazing things ahead for you, bro. Keep putting in the work. Heck, you're representing your country this weekend. Like if that's not special and something to be proud of, I don't know what is, dude.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's definitely a great honor, and thank you for those kind words. I definitely just want to run with it.
Keep rocking, dude. Keep rocking. Um, who is your favorite fighters? Like, are there anyone in particular that you've looked up to in your fight journey?
Yeah, so definitely my favorite fighter. A lot of new gen fans probably don't know him too much, but Kid Yamamoto. Um,
Mm,
he was growing up. He went to a high school in the town that I grew up in my adolescence. I didn't end up going there, but he was a state champ there, and learning his story and his background. I definitely loved watching his fights. Um, rest in peace. He was just an absolute beast. Other than that, like kind of like the new gen of fighters, I really like Sean Strickland. I really try to emulate his pressure style with defense. In a lot of my videos, you'll see where I walk forward, parrying, slipping shots, and then landing my own. Um, I really like his style. And then obviously Khabib. Khabib is the legend that he is, coming from a wrestling background too. I really try to, start the fight on top, stay on top, and end the fight on top. But yeah, those are like the three that I'm really looking at and kind of draw inspiration from for my style.
love it. I got to know, who is your dream brand partner? Again, to be competing on a world stage, representing your country, and only continuing to climb the ranks on a global scale, day in and day out, fight after fight. Seems like a no brainer for brands to kind of work with you and get their name out there. So let's put the ball in some brands' courts, man. Like, who would you like to work with?
Yeah, so if I had to pick one, it would probably be like Sony, like with PlayStation and everything like that. You know, they have a long history of great products and everything like that. Sony, as far as like the fight game goes, I mean, with fight companies, it's gonna come down to whoever has a good reputation and brands that I believe in. Those would be right now are Yocal for fight gear, and then Anaconda for the knee braces that I use. But yeah, I mean, you always want to work with big companies too. So hey, if Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk want to work with me, I'm definitely open to it.
Let's go. What about Venom? I know it's a UFC sponsor. I know a
Yeah,
lot of people use them. Is that a brand you're interested in? I've spoke to a few fighters the last couple days, and they've all been like, "Dude, Venom would be unreal to work with."
they would. They kind of seem so out of touch though. I know that I'm like starting to climb the ranks and do stuff, but I feel like Venom is just like right up there. So sometimes it's hard to like reach for those stars and make those call out. But yeah, definitely Venom is. They've done so much. I remember when Venom first came out in like the 2010s, and it was always cool. Like the shorts were cool, everything, and then they started moving in the fight game, and you see so many fighters use it. Like Lomachenko uses their gloves and everything. But yeah, Venom, of course.
Love it, man. Love it. Hey, shoot for the stars. Reach for the stars, man. Why not? Why not? Again, what's the stat? I bet it's ridiculously low. What's the stat of fighters that get to represent their country? Probably not that big. So, in my opinion, again, why would a company like Venom not want to put their brand in the hands of someone who is representing the country?
You're, you're asking the $1 million questions, man.
It's what I'm here for. Love it, dude. Well, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to join us today. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. Go crush it this weekend, which I know you will. Let's stay in touch. We got to drop a new merch line after you get this KO. But man, thank you so much for your time again, and hope to chat with you again soon.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Take care. Chat soon. Bye now.